All right, guys, Soccer World Fan TV. We do have Reza, who was gonna make his debut if the Tottenham games thing didn't corrupt, but sadly, yeah, it sucks anyways. But of course, Arsenal nil, Manchester United nil. Obviously, when you probably saw the teams and out, especially your team, you had like three of your big players injured, which was Saka, Aubameyang, and I think Gabriel was in the bench for
Yep.
this game. But do you think without those players, you did put out a fight? Do you think this was pretty much a point gained in that perspective?
I think it was a point game, but also could have ended up, with Arsenal winning the game, given the chances they created and how much in control they were throughout the game. In the first half, it was a bit more 50-50, United had a couple of good chances, mainly with Fernandes and also Rashford, ending up in front of goal, but then, the defenders closed in on him quickly and he wasn't able to take the shot. But I think it was a good performance from Arsenal, especially given that they missed Aubameyang, Saka, and Ceballos as well.
Tobias as well. I
And
forgot about him.
yeah, yeah, it's all good. And yeah, the unbeaten run is still going, so a point is a point, another clean sheet, and yeah.
We talk about Actually, no. I do want to talk about one of the situations. Obviously the Bruno tackle. It was been highlighted in the game. Do you think that that should have been warranted a card?
I think it should have been worn to the card. Fernandes was making numerous challenges and really getting aggressive with the Arsenal players. Um,
You know the
I'm not
one
entirely.
I'm specifically talking about, the one against Shaka.
Oh yeah, 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 that one. I think it was a rough challenge. It should have, gotten a yellow card at least for that. Um, but that's just the way it is. Sometimes the referee's nice for your team. Sometimes the referee's not. But looking at how aggressive he was throughout the game, it was pretty much evidence from that tackle and just in general that he was getting frustrated, and he just had to lash out his anger on players like Xhaka by a pretty rough challenge, which is kind of unreasonable.
And we talked about Arsenal, and obviously they did have that poor run in around like November, December time. However, I think against the big teams, you gotta say though they've actually been, when we see Arsenal before, they tend to like drop back and not show a fight. But I mean, you look at some of the games like Man City, you only lost by 1-0. Man United, you did win at their ground 1-0 the first time
Yeah.
in such a long time. I think since 2007. Um,
Yeah.
do you think now you're being more resilient and more like incentive to go against the big teams in the league?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like with the sort of mentality and philosophy that Arteta brings into the club, especially with the set of players that he's trying to bring in and implement his strategy with. The club looks a bit more resilient, especially against the top six teams, or I should say top seven. Um, because back during, I would say probably the end of Wenger's time and also Unai Emery's time, uh, the team looked really lackluster defensively and didn't really have a strategy moving forward when coming up against the bigger teams in the league. Evidence of that can be games away at Liverpool, United, even games away at Chelsea, where we've seen numerous times that Arsenal have struggled defensively. However, they were, pretty good offensively that time as well. Now we're seeing a bit of struggle in terms of offensive output because, the main players offensively are missing in Aubameyang and Saka, so Lacazette has a bit of a tougher job to do. But it's definitely a step in the right direction, given how much they've improved defensively and really how much more of a structure the team has when moving forward and tracking back and trying to sort of maintain a balance between attack and defense for themselves.
Mm-hmm. I want to quickly touch about the rival fans, obviously, because United kind of in a little bit of a struggle right now. I mean, losing to Sheffield United and now absolutely drawing to Arsenal. Do you think that still Manchester United should be considered title challengers, and potentially could they win the title this season with the squad they have?
That's a good question. I'm not too sure if I can call them contenders right now. Right now they're 3 points behind City. Uh, City has a game in hand if City wins, 6 points behind. And teams like Leicester and Liverpool are pretty much right behind United, right? So it's a very close race right now. And given what we've seen recently, I think United's not going to be going on an unbeaten run for the rest of the season. If they do, maybe they'll have a chance at winning the league, but uh, I don't think they will. So I think top four, maybe even top five, is definitely guaranteed for them. But going for the league, especially this season with like the conditions around COVID and whatnot, I don't think is really attainable for them, and they will struggle.
Mm-hmm. And now I actually want to flip it up to you actually because there was chances where people actually predicted beforehand that possibly they can make a top six. I think there was a few shout outs for top four. What are your thoughts about Arsenal's position? Where do you see Arsenal? What are their goals right now to reach and attain this season?
I think the way the club and also the fans look at the situation is, because of the 2 months where, we almost forgot how to play the game, right? We struggled for quite a long time, and now we're starting to pick things up a little bit. Uh, I think it's a step-by-step basis for the club right now, looking at every result and seeing how they can improve, from week to week, from game to game. Um, if things keep going, in the direction that they're going right now, with the unbeaten streak getting extended and extended, I think Arsenal could put up a challenge for perhaps top six or top five, because the top four is really tricky for them to get into, especially with Leicester City, United, and also Spurs being amongst those teams in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So top four will be really difficult, but if they can keep up their form, it's definitely attainable.
Mm-hmm. And do you think Arteta, showing what he has this season, especially with the players they have, do you think he should be allowed to have a lot of funds to quickly build the team up to what he wants? And potentially, do you think he could be the guy that could lead you to the big trophies in the future?
Based on what I've seen from Arteta so far, I think it's been more than a season, right? Um, Early on, he was really good. He started bringing in a lot of new methodologies and strategies to the instant, abrupt changes in the club as they won the FA Cup and the Community Shield. However, in the Premier League, they're still struggling, and we've seen in continental competitions like the Europa League, they lost to Olympiacos at home. So there are still a couple of cracks and holes for them to fix, and for that to happen, Arteta needs more resources, like you mentioned, funds in particular, right, to bring in the players that he needs, and really change up the team. Because I remember, I'm not sure when this was, but he did mention that he wants the club to sort of play in a 4-3-3 moving forward, and he says they're around 5 to 6 players away from that. So it shows that there's still a huge gap between where we're at right now and where he wants to be sometime in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you give him a fair amount of resources every transfer window, say, I don't know, maybe 200 million pounds in the summer and then 50 to 60 million in the winter, which is a lot for Arsenal, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth the risk, right? Especially with a um sort of young but very what's the word? Like
Eager.
ambitious manager. Yeah, eager and ambitious manager like Arteta, right? If you give him the resources, it's worth the risk. Um Either things will work really well and we may see Arsenal win the league within 2 to 3 seasons or something, or things may not work too well and you end up moving on.
All right then. I appreciate the comments, Reza, and hopefully this time around the video will be out there. and will be viewed by a lot of the Soccer World fam. So yeah, thank you so much for your opinions. And yo, guys, if you do
You.
like his opinions about the game so far and whatnot, please give a like. Please share this video. Please subscribe, and also do follow Reza if you absolutely want to see more of his content, what he plans to do. And like I said before, we're giving a platform for fans to voice their opinions. So please, more and more new people to come in, and more people to voice their opinions. Thank you, Reza, once again for giving your opinions, and hope to see you
Yeah,
again,
thank
man.
you very much. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully I can come back for, more big games in the future, in particular, Arsenal games.
And hopefully none of them are like 0-0 again, man. We have too many games that are
Yeah,
0-0s, man. We gotta have more, goals, more, more,
yeah, a bit more excitement during the games.
more narratives for sure.
Yeah,
And always, guys, y'all take care and peace.
yeah. Thank you.